Hey guys, it's Brian again with another ceiling fan video. What I have for you here is a 52-inch Encon Festival ceiling fan from the early 1990s. It's installed down here in my man cave for testing purposes. It's a 5-blade fan, 3-speed reversible with a spotlight kit. It's got black light reactive neon paint, multicolor as you can see. It's got the original Encon pendant pull chains, which I really love because these are actually pretty decently hard to find. Sorry if I can't really, let me turn the light on and see if I can, there we go. Pretty cool, you don't see these too often anymore. You can see the fan with its light on. It's flush mounted, and it actually came that way when I got it from a marketplace listing locally. It's kind of a rare fan because honestly, you really don't see these. I see a lot of Hampton Bay Carousels, and this is actually very similar to a Hampton Bay Carousel. I believe actually the early carousels had the exact same paint on them, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've been told from other collectors. But the Encon version of this fan is very, very, very hard to find. I'd even go as far as to say rare. So I picked this up mostly because I thought it was really cool looking, and I loved the the black light reactive neon paint on it. Unfortunately, I don't have a black light right now to test out the paint on the fan, but still really cool looking. Very similar to a Encon Odyssey, with the exception of the builder vents on the motor. This is not going to stay up in my basement for the reasons that I will show you here in a second. But let's go ahead and test the fan out. We're going to turn the light kit on, and I'm going to start it on low. It does have a pretty audible hum to it, which is really not all that bad. The main problem with this fan is the bearing noise. It's got a very audible bearing hiss. It actually moves pretty good air on low speed. It's, you know, these are definitely not poor quality fans, but unfortunately, because this is a little bit too noisy for me down here, it's going to get taken down. And, you know, if I ever get the chance, I'm going to try to replace the bearings on the motor in this. I definitely plan to keep this permanently in my collection, but it's just not useful with that bearing hiss. Turn it to medium. It's definitely cranking out some pretty good air on medium. I mean, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how much air this moves. The earlier Encon fans were definitely no slouch on air movement. And high. One of the blades is slightly off balance, so it does have a very minor wobble. It doesn't wobble that much because it's flush mounted, obviously, but I bet you if it were on a down rod, that would be a different story. But it's actually cranking out a pretty large amount of air. I'm really pleasantly surprised that, you know, how good of an air mover this fan is for it being an Encon, you know, which is, you know, cheaper end of the scale, early 90s. But, I mean, it's actually a really good performing fan. Very happy with the amount of air this moves. It's just unfortunate about the bearings. And we will spin down. It actually has a pretty decent spin down time to it despite the bearings, but it's just too noisy. I'll eventually, get around to repairing it and maybe find a place that I can use it. But I had actually never heard of the Encon Festival before I found this. I didn't even know that Encon made a multicolor 52-inch fan. But I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as a Hampton Bay Carousel. And it's really cool. I love that it's got the neon blacklight reactive paint. Makes the color stick out more. And I actually have a 52-inch Carousel. I believe it's an air-cool made one in my collection. But it has the more primary, duller paint that you see pretty commonly. So finding something like this is kind of cool. I always had a thing for these 52-inch multicolored fans when I was a kid. So it was really special for me to grab this off a marketplace and pick it up. Glad I got to film and test it, because I still haven't gotten around to filming and testing my Carousel yet. But there you have it. That's the 52-inch Encon Festival. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching. More videos to come.